and I was just talking about this. Many times, what jurors do is what we call compromise. What is a compromise? A compromise is a situation whereby, uh, whereby a juror will say, well, you know what? I just want to, I don't know if he should do the whole thing. I'm going to compromise. He's a good guy or whatever, I'm going to compromise. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compromise. Well, with manslaughter, voluntary manslaughter, which is kind of heat of the passion, he can get probation. And what did the attorney say? Under the Grand Rapids Department's use of force policy, Matt Burglar, speaking after Scher's arraignment in the 61st District Court on second-degree murder, said that he thought the jury is going to see clearly that he did everything he was required to do under department policy. Under the Grand Rapids Department use of force policy, officers can use deadly force only to defend themselves, another officer, or another person against a reasonable threat of death or serious bodily injury. Scher feels that he did nothing wrong, Borgella said. Before the lethal force was used, he took several steps to the point where he was exhausted and felt that he was in danger of lethal force himself before he decided to pull his weapon. Bergula said, I think that's going to be the defense, and I think that we're going to be victorious. This is what is said. Now, many times with a case like this, you see the courts doing what's called a remand. What is a remand? No bond is given. What are some considerations for not giving a bond or remand? The person is a danger to himself or to the community. Number two, the likelihood of success at trial. It's going to be very interesting. Now, Grand Rapids happens to be the same area district, even though this was federal, different from state, in which the individuals that were alleged to have done a kidnapping plan for Governor Whitmer were exonerated. So it's going to be very interesting to determine. For many of you all that do not know, Grand Rapids is a very conservative city. It is probably more Republican geared. And when you see conservatism, in my opinion, 9 times out of 10, people who are conservative tend to be more pro-police. But now let me say this to you all. Granted, I don't believe that this needs to be a situation of black versus white. It needs to be dealing with right and wrong. But we got to have people who are in that city, black and white, that's willing to serve. Don't get up there, oh, this, that case, I don't be on this case. They're going to be having me in here all day. I can't be fair and impartial. This ain't the time to be in a coward. This is the time to man a woman up. Okay, this is the time to man a woman up, baby. According to Leslie Benson, that was You Very White City. It's very, very conservative. And like I said, I'm not going to indicate, and nor do I want to believe that this will hinge on race. Look what happened in Atlanta. Okay, all white jury came back guilty as charged. Okay, but we got to be responsible. But the charging of this, the second degree, the giving of $100,000 bond, this is something that could have been first degree premeditated murder on a remand. Okay, on a remand. And all of that. You lucky that we charged him. No, we're not gonna do that. And thank God someone videotaped it. Because let me tell you something. According to the news outlets, because I don't know, I've not read nothing. I'm not privy to no discovery, nothing like that. But according to news outlets, the officer's camera wasn't properly working. So this is video gained from elsewhere, is my belief. And I may be inaccurate, okay? But this needs to be monitored. But the fact that, and it's so sad that we as people of color, always the one that get the shortest stick when it comes to being charged or given the benefit of the doubt. Well, maybe Jody didn't mean to do that. We gon', but let me say this to you. Follow along. It is very dangerous when you start giving people a break in the law. It sets a precedent for others to request that. So potentially said, if Jody or Ray Ray or Jose kill somebody, I say People versus Shore says just because you shot in the back of the head does not mean first degree premeditated murder. That's second degree murder. People versus Shore, SCHURR, it's a Grand Rapids case. Now, if convicted, defense attorneys can say that pursuant to that, if the law says that was okay for the second degree murder, that's my daughter. See it? And her pretty outfit. You see him? That's my daughter. She ain't got. Now, there's a standard. See, if he's convicted and he appeals and they say, okay, second degree, if that happens, we don't know. Second degree is okay. So when these other people of color, execution style, they should be first degree, no bond. Well, according to People versus Shore, that should be second degree with a bond. What y'all think about that? And like I said, let me tell you something. I am saying to you, and listen to me, because I want to make it clear, pristine. This is not about black versus white. This is about right versus wrong. And it's unfortunate that many times when those decisions are made, right versus wrong, color, economic standing comes into play. Oh, well, they're wealthy. They didn't really mean that. Oh, well, he's a police or such and such, and they didn't mean that. Or, he's white. They didn't know. This is America. We have to come together. And as I said, in Georgia, that jury listened, and those individuals are in prison right now because of their verdict. These are white people, and they did their job. They understood the assignment. But the deck is kind of set here. Second degree murder. That's not mandatory life. If convicted. If convicted. Listen, some of you have held on for a long time. I want to see what y'all got to say. It's getting hot in here. I might have to come back with another change of clothes. I'm getting hot. We'll be back.